Hello everyone and welcome to our next language learning lesson video. In this video, we're going to take a tour around the house in Spanish. We're going to learn how to identify the rooms and different places of the house in the Spanish language. But first, are you interested in learning Spanish? If so, please be sure to like, share, and comment on this video down below. Also be sure to subscribe to the Remote Language channel right here on YouTube so that you can make sure to stay on top of all of our language learning lesson videos right as they're released right here on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get started with our tour around the house. We're going to start with the outside of the house by learning how to say la casa, which is the house. La casa, the house. So next, staying with the outside of our house, let's learn how to say la entrada. La entrada is the driveway. It can also mean entrance. So in this case, it means the driveway as we're entering into the house. Next, before we enter our house, we're going to learn el porche. El porche, the porch. So entering our house from the porch, we're going to enter inside of the house and we're going to learn how to say el cuarto. El cuarto is the room. Now, this just means room. It doesn't mean any particular room of the house. It's just a way of identifying a room or a space. So, el cuarto, and as you can see in our picture, we just have an empty room, so it can be any room you would like to refer to. So let's go ahead and continue our tour of the house and let's start getting into the specific rooms of our house. So we learned how to say the room. So let's learn how to say the different specific rooms as we make our way through the house. So our first room is going to be la sala. La sala, which is the living room. So la sala. And from the living room, we're going to move right into la cocina. La cocina, the kitchen. And next after the kitchen, we're going to move on to el baño. El baño, the bathroom. And our next room in our house actually has two different words, and we're going to talk about both of them. So the first one is la oficina. La oficina. And there's also el estudio. El estudio. So that can mean the office or the study. So kind of a study area. So la oficina is of course the office, very similar to office in English, but this also can mean an office like in a work building. So if you were going into an office or you're in a building and you're referring to a specific room that is an office of someone, like your manager's office, for example, this can mean all of those different things. So either an office building or an office room for a particular person. But in our house, it can also be el estudio, which is the study or a study area. So if you were to have like a school room or a study room, for example, it can be el estudio. So I wanted to make sure to put both of those on there. Sometimes people refer to this room a little bit differently, but also to talk about some of the differences between the word office and kind of the study area and some of the different contexts of those. So let's move on from our office/study area and let's move on to el dormitorio. El dormitorio, which is the bedroom. And from the bedroom, we're going to go to another fun room of the house, and that's la biblioteca. La biblioteca. Now, this is the library, and not every house is going to have a library, but it was fun to include. Sometimes houses will have their own private libraries or kind of a reading room. So, la biblioteca is the library. La biblioteca also kind of stands for a library, so a place that you would go to check out books. So it's actually the reference to the building, a library as well as the library in a house, for example. So la biblioteca is the library. And next, we're going to go ahead back outside of our house and we are going to learn el garaje. El garaje is the garage. So now we're back outside of our house, and we're going to learn el césped, and that is the lawn. Next, we're going to learn la piscina. La piscina is the pool. So this would be your home swimming pool area of your house. So that concludes our tour inside and outside all around the house in Spanish. And this lesson was brought to you by Remote Language Online Learning. If you would like to see more of our language learning lesson videos, please be sure to check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/remote language learning. You can also subscribe to the Remote Language channel right here on YouTube. Also be sure to like this video down below. You can also check us out on Pinterest at Remote Language. Thank you so much for participating in this video. I hope you learned all about the house and around the house here in Spanish, and I'll see you in our next lesson.